Every behavioral style has its pluses and its minuses. There is not one behavioral style that makes a coach better or worse. These are just natural tendencies you have when communicating with or coaching others. Regardless of your preferred coaching style, let's look at what you as a coach can learn from the Relator coaching style. Coaches with a Relator behavioral style tend to be cautious and reflective, as well as warm and accepting. They want to provide stability, to show concern for others, and more than anything, to maintain a harmonious environment. They tend to be soft-spoken, and they're more likely to lead by example than with force. In general, they do a lot more listening and thinking than speaking. And because they tend to be modest, they're careful not to impose their will on those they coach. Relator coaches work carefully to make sure everything is done correctly, and they often shy away from radical changes and rash ideas and plans. They're more concerned with being helpful and collaborative, and they're usually willing to go the extra mile for those they coach. Relator coaches care deeply about what other people think. They tend to be good listeners, and they're always open for input from the coachees. When a coachee comes to them with a problem or bad news, they handle the situation calmly. As a result, those they coach generally see them as very approachable. Their down-to-earth style helps bring people together. And they're often quite good at drawing out coachees' opinions and helping team members reach a consensus. Relator coaches have lower ego needs, so they're true team players who are more concerned with reaching goals collaboratively than with getting ahead themselves. Some of the strengths of a coach with a Relator style are they tend to be very people-oriented. They're often able to create a warm, safe coaching environment. They're able to overlook coachees' mistakes. They tend to deliver reliable results. They're often very good listeners. They tend to be patient. They're willing to make compromises. They tend to show appreciation for coachees' contributions. Here are 3 lessons all coaches can learn from the Relator style. First, show the people you coach that you're open to their ideas. Try to be more intentional about showing appreciation. Ask questions and listen more. Encourage people to open up and help them feel safe for sharing their ideas. Next, monitor your emotional output. As a coach, you are in an influential position. Even though you may not be aware of it, coachees can interpret or misinterpret your verbal and nonverbal cues. A slight roll of the eyes or an exaggerated sigh may get interpreted negatively by those you coach. So be aware of your verbal and nonverbal signals and use positive emotions to create a less stressful environment where coachees feel comfortable with you. Lastly, facilitate two-way discussions, inviting coachees to be involved in the conversation, asking for their input, and engaging them in a discussion helps them feel valued and part of the solution. So even if your tendency is to talk more and move more quickly than those you coach, a more collaborative discussion, whenever possible, will lead to a more productive coaching outcome.